Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some Path of Exile discussion. Today I wanted to talk about using Heist as a way to either generate currency for yourself in a trade league, or as a way to generate some weird and wonderful items to play around with in solo self-found, as well as a number of staple items like Six Links. So, in the Heist League itself, the meta revolved around getting the best possible blueprints you could, using various methods of duplicating them, and then running them chasing the side passage chest primarily, and anything that you got from the Curio rooms was a bonus. That was the meta of top-end Heist League play. It's a very different environment in the Ritual League, and I wanted to showcase a strategy which is just as simple as making a beeline for the Curio room. So, I have prepared a couple of heists here, Grand Heists. All of these have got basically the barest minimum unveiling done on them. So see this blueprint bunker here. There's a bunch of unrevealed escape routes, reward rooms, and the like, but there's 2 of 2 wings revealed. The way that you do that is, firstly, you run a normal heist. It's got to be level 68 or higher, so map equivalent. Then talk to Wakano the Barber and select reveal blueprint details. Feed him your blueprint and then unveil. You can unveil rooms. I'm not doing that, but you can also unveil wings. So when this was originally looted, this would have been visible, this would have been hidden, and then I've come along, spent one of these reveals, which you earn 1 of for each heist that you do that's level 68 or higher, to reveal this wing. Now, in normal play, these currency rooms would be considered particularly valuable, but because this is only level 73, and because we're optimizing for something else instead of those rooms, we're not even going to bother with that. So, let's prepare a Grand Heist. Let's run this one. And all I've done is I've just picked various rogues that I wanted to get levels on. Although they do happen to be quite good rogues, that is just coincidence. This has a reward of enchanted armaments. Now, enchanted armaments will be weapons and armors, and they will often be highly linked, and they will be very well rolled. Now, very well rolled means that they have rolls that are high tier. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a good combination, but they'll be something that may look compelling to use. Once you get to the Curio room, you have all the time in the world to pick which one of the 5 is the best option. And so that's our first step, is just going to be to run over to the Curio room. You may notice here that I'm playing Divine Ire Elementalist. It's not particularly been functioning all that well. I haven't invested much in it, honestly. I've just been looking for inspiration as to what to change to. When I do change, I'll pick something else, and I'll have 25, 30 Exalts from doing exactly what you're seeing here, that I can then go and invest into some other build. But I need inspiration to come along. So, we're just going to zoom through here. Well, semi-zoom. Not the fastest in the world. I like having more movement speed than the Elementalist picks up. That said, you do have a lot of power when monsters spawn on a schedule. Okay, so we're going to pop these open. These are basically a distraction. They're a bonus. We're going to take them because they're here, but they're not the reason that we're here. And that's very different to the mainstream strategy during the Heist League, which was to make all sorts of sacrifices to make these chests as good as possible. That was why in the Heist League, people would elk their contracts, people would prioritize gear on their rogues that made various items get duplicated. We're not doing that, we're just pushing through to the Curio room. The Curio room doesn't seem to be affected by any of those things. Huh. Someone on my friends list has just hit a lucky headhunter. 10 ancient orbs. Nice. Obligatory, that's not the chances. So every time people see a headhunter get pulled on stream, it causes ancient orbs to explode in price. So let's have a look, see what we've got here. The key thing we're looking for, first and foremost, is either extraordinarily good mods or things that are already 6-linked. This has got good mods, but they're not extraordinary, so we're going to move on. This is neither good nor extraordinary. This one here is also pretty ordinary. They're high tier mods, just high tier mods that don't work together very well. This one here is also pretty damn mediocre. And this one here is a 5-link with... Yeah, this is the sort of thing that we're looking for. This is the sort of thing that I throw into my 40 Chaos tab, and they often sell. This is a pretty typical, what I might term as a slightly below average run, but I'm still quite happy with it. Given the amount of time that I've invested in this heist, I can't complain. That Arcane Cloak, focus up for extreme duration of ailments, and then boom. You'll see here that there's quite a lot of tech issues that I'm having. That's just been the game has been running poorly this entire league for me. Not as badly as it was in Legion, but worse than most others since. The best thing about this strategy is that this is only half the blueprint. We've still got another wing to go down, which could also have a genuine jackpot drop, or it could have a middling drop like a 6-link with OK mods, a jackpot drop like like the... What's that? Yeah, that's not a jackpot drop, unfortunately. I didn't think it could be a headhunter in here, but never know. League mechanics can sometimes drop things you don't expect. Okay, so that's one wing of the Grand Heist done. We've got one more. We have lots of inventory space, so let's just jump in. And Vindiri is always very disturbing in the dialogue in game. The guy is an absolute creep. So we've only got essences as the rewards in here. They're pretty much rubbish. Essences this league are really cheap because Ritual just gives out so many of them, which is good if you ever wanted to craft with essences. But as far as anyone that loots essences, it's a pretty bad environment for them. It makes me not feel bad about miscounting these and only getting to open some of them. Alright, we got one more here. Let's deal with those guys. Oh, that's incubator. Now just check here. I've got to make sure that I do have enough left over in the alert to get to the end. I certainly wouldn't be taking any risks with getting to the Curio room for the benefit of getting one more, one of those chests. The run-in in Heist is always a bit boring because there's just not very many enemies. And now you can see that even with 2 Quicksilvers, I'm running out of flasks here. That'll change now, but I'm just letting them charge up. And then we'll get to another Curio room, and we'll have a look, and we'll do another game of Evaluate Everything. You got all the time in the world for that, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so this is one of the really powerful... anything with 15% increased effect needs to be taken seriously just on virtue of the implicit. So I want to firstly think, is there a Highborn Staff unique that could be Scour Chance from this base? I'm not sure of one, and so I'm going to assume there isn't. So then we'll just have a look at the explicit mods. Cold Dot Multi, but doesn't have anything else playing to the strengths of that. There's all these lightning effects. That just doesn't go well together, so even though that's got high tier mods, it's rubbish. Here we've just got life resist armor. There's lots of life resist armor floating around, and I'd take it if it was 6-linked. This here is life resist armor again, not very good. This here is elemental damage on an axe. Okay. Also, just having a quick think as to whether these implicits do anything particularly strong. Then we got this primordial stuff. So this is 5-linked, so I'm probably going to end up taking it. But it's just not very good either. Caster damage mods having 8% increased effect is interesting though. It's the sort of thing that makes me think, is there a primordial staff unique? And I'm actually going to have to check that. So let me just pause the video while I do that. So there is a unique on that base, and that unique is Femurs of the Saints. Unfortunately, it doesn't really have any synergy with the caster damage mods mod. So just having another quick check, just making sure that I haven't stuffed anything up here. I unfortunately don't have any successes to show you on this one, because this one is not going to sell in the 50C tab, in the 40C tab. But that's where it's going to go. Anyways, it's a numbers game. Keep doing this and you will get some multi-exalt replica uniques. You will get some 6 links that will sell. You will get 6 links with good mods and sometimes even good enchants on top. You will get some of the weird and wonderful bases like the Simplex Amulet that can sell in some circumstances. And you'll just get a lot of other random stuff as well that might move. If you're in SSF, you get a bunch of toys to play with, basically, as well as 6 links. I've had, I think I've done about 19 Grand Heists now, and I think I've had 7 6 links in that number, I'm wearing one of them. The rest have either sold for 40C if they were terrible, or 2X if they were better. I had a 400 DPS physical damage bow. That sold for 2X. I've had 2 Replica Soul Tethers, which at the time I got them sold for 4X each, and I've had a bunch of other stuff as well. So it's been lucrative. I just can't show you anything on camera. One thing you may notice from this is that entire Grand Heist took me 11.5 minutes from the start of talking about it. So we're 11.5 minutes into the video. That means that you can do 10 wings per hour, because I did 2 wings in that one. That is something that is what makes this so lucrative. In an hour, if you do 5 Grand Heists like this one, you should expect to get 6 Exalts based on my average. So 6 Exalts an hour is pretty solid. Even if it turns out that 6 links stop selling and you start getting a bit less, it's still a lot of stuff that drops, including stuff that you can't get anywhere else in the game. So I highly recommend giving this a shot, especially if you can get yourself some low-level blueprints so that you can do it safely. So the key takeaways. Scour the blueprints to make it easier, because the parts of the rewards of a blueprint that scale with map mods are not the parts we're chasing here. We're chasing the Curio room, we're not chasing the other bonuses, the bonus chests and the like, and the Curio room is independent of the mods on the map. Secondly, don't bother with any of the side rooms that you need to be unveiled. Save those unveils for new blueprints. It tends to work better. And thirdly, you've got all the time in the world when you're in the Curio room to work out which of the items is the best one to take. So take as long as you need to assess them. You'll get faster over time, and it is good to have a printed out list or a second computer handy that has a list of all of the various replicas available, at least if you're playing in Trade League, so that you can say, oh, okay, I see something that's really good, but there's a Replica Maloney's mechanism, and that's a few Exalts, so of course I'm going to take that, and I'll let the 6 link go. If you've got comments or questions, fire away below. Otherwise, hope you have a good one.